Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's burning question comes from one of our curious viewers, Foodie James 89. Thanks for the suggestion, James. You asked, why is a hot dog called a hot dog? If you've ever munched on one at a barbecue or a ball game, you've probably wondered who came up with that name and what were they thinking? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're serving up a piping hot history of this iconic snack, from its German sausage roots to the peculiar name that stuck. So, if you're ready to uncover the truth behind this tubular mystery, grab a bun, hold the ketchup debate for later, and let's dig in. Right here on Explaining Everything. First, let's address the hot dog's grandparent, the humble sausage. Sausages have been around for centuries. Ancient Babylonians, Romans, and Greeks were all grinding meat into tubes and calling it dinner. Fast forward to the 1600s, and Germany gave us the Frankfurter, named after the city of Frankfurt. Meanwhile, Vienna, or Wien, threw its hat in the ring with the wiener. Both claim to be the hot dog's direct ancestor. It's a sausage family feud. So if hot dog came from such illustrious roots, why didn't we stick with Frankfurter or wiener? Wouldn't life be easier without all the canine confusion? The story takes a turn in the 19th century when German immigrants brought their sausages and Dachshunds to America. Yes, Dachshunds, those adorable, long-bodied dogs that look suspiciously like sausages with legs. People began referring to the sausages as Dachshund sausages because, well, humans love a good visual metaphor. It was cute, it was funny, and it just stuck. But here's where things get juicy. Somewhere along the way, Dachshund sausage got a rebrand. Why? Because Americans have a knack for shortening complicated words, and frankly, not everyone could pronounce Dachshund correctly. Looking at you, Dave, who kept calling it a dachshund. Now, there's a popular story that ties the term hot dog to New York City, a baseball game, and a cartoonist. The legend goes that in 1901, a vendor at the Polo Grounds was selling hot Dachshund sausages in buns, and a sports cartoonist, Tad Dorgan, wanted to sketch the scene. But, and here's the kicker, he supposedly didn't know how to spell Dachshund, so he just wrote hot dog instead. Boom! Instant branding. It's a great tale, but historians have poked holes in it. For one, there's no surviving cartoon to prove it. And two, the term hot dog had already been in use before 1901. Still, it's such a classic New York story that we kind of want it to be true. Let's not ignore the elephant, or rather, the dog, in the room. In the late 1800s, there were whispers, and we mean whispers, that sausage makers weren't exactly using premium cuts of meat. Some folks joked that stray dogs might be finding their way into the mix. Gross? Yes. Funny? To 19th century humorists, absolutely. The term hot dog became a cheeky jab at these questionable meat practices. Thankfully, modern health regulations have squashed those rumors. Today's hot dogs are made of high-quality, let's just say stuff, and leave it at that. At some point, someone had the brilliant idea of putting the sausage in a bun. This move wasn't just genius, it was revolutionary. No more greasy fingers. Legend credits a German immigrant named Charles Feltman who started selling sausages in rolls on Coney Island in the 1860s. But the bun's real triumph came later, when hot dogs became a staple at baseball games, fairs, and pretty much any event where paper plates would be too fancy. The term hot dog only gained more traction as vendors shouted it out to hungry crowds. It's catchy, it's funny, and let's be honest, calling them hot dachshunds would have been a bit much. By the 20th century, the hot dog wasn't just a food, it was an icon. It even entered pop culture, becoming synonymous with summertime, Americana, and debates about condiments. Ketchup, mustard, relish, all of the above? But let's circle back to the name. Why hot and why dog? The hot part is obvious. It's served warm, ideally. The dog part? Well, that's where humor, suspicion, and dachshund-inspired whimsy collide. It's a name that captures the food's playful, unpretentious vibe. So, there you have it. The term hot dog is a mix of immigrant culture, linguistic shortcuts, and good old-fashioned American humor. It's a name that sticks, literally and figuratively. Next time you're enjoying a hot dog, you can chew on this history and impress your friends with your sausage knowledge. Just maybe don't bring up the 19th century dog rumors while they're eating. And let's not forget, the hot dog isn't just a snack, it's a cultural ambassador. From backyard cookouts to stadium seats, it's been bringing people together for over a century. Whether you prefer yours loaded with mustard and onions, Chicago style with pickles and celery salt, or plain and simple, the hot dog proves that sometimes the weirdest names belong to the most beloved foods. And hey, if anyone ever asks why a hot dog is called a hot dog, you now have an answer. It's because warm wiener didn't have the same ring to it. And that's the juicy tale behind why a hot dog is called a hot dog. If you enjoyed today's story, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating dives into the origins of everyday things. And if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about here on Explaining Everything.